Henry Cejudo versus Sean O'Malley would actually, thinking about it, would be a good fight. It's winnable for either guy. Because Sean O'Malley, although ultimately losing to Merab, he did beat Sterling for the belt, regardless of whether people want to question the stoppage. And then his one defense was against Vera for 5 rounds, but good luck putting out Vera. And then Merab comes and they have a pretty close fight where Sean did have some moments, but ultimately kind of lost. Well, no, it didn't kind of. He lost. But now apparently Henry Cejudo wants to come in because apparently a good enough high-caliber wrestler can give Sean O'Malley some problems, you know? Sean's mainly a stand-up fighter. He's not much of an MMA-style grappler, so to speak. But Henry is a high enough caliber where he would have to test Sean O'Malley's takedown defense and how well Sean O'Malley can do against grapplers still. Because he did do really good against Aljamain Sterling. So I do think that when you watch the Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo fight, those guys were very neck and neck. So I don't know if he's going to have a problem stuffing Henry's takedowns. One, no offense because of the size. But two, it's just like those guys were super close with one another. So it would be interesting to see, is the style going to make the fight or is the caliber going to make the fight in that one? So like if O'Malley wants to come back for a title and have a really good shot against Merab, he does need to test himself against more grapplers. Just non-biasedly looking in the guy's better interest on where he needs to go. He needs to be very grapple heavy because his striking work is so smooth, so slick, amazing, that like if they were to put him against like Corey Sandhagen or something, I think that would be a bounce back fight for Sean O'Malley, where I feel like also Henry Cejudo would be a bounce back fight for Sean O'Malley. But there's some risk to it because it's also a very winnable bounce back fight for Henry Cejudo if Cejudo secures the takedown. And if they do it on a 3-rounder instead of a 5-rounder, I think that might muddy the waters a little bit because for sure we know Henry Cejudo could go 3 rounds. He's gone 5 rounds on a few occasions too. So I think for 3 rounds I would actually have to kind of favor Henry Cejudo because then he would be able to shoot a lot more takedowns and really overwhelm Sean O'Malley, unless Sean gets really good at defending those takedowns and just waves them off, and then once Henry Cejudo is tired, picks him apart. But I think we're looking at kind of like for Henry Cejudo's, status, he's not in the same sphere as he was when he was fighting guys like TJ Dillashaw, Demetrius Johnson. We just kind of see that Henry Cejudo and his generation is starting to weed out a little bit. Not saying he can't do it, but I think that's what's kind of working against Henry Cejudo when it comes to any sort of Sean O'Malley fight. So I don't know. He could still shock us. He could still prove us wrong, just like we all doubted Sean O'Malley ever coming close to getting the belt or let alone getting the belt. I think that's the best part about this sport. We could do all the MMA math and all the thoughts and analyzing. It really isn't, set in stone until the octagon door shuts and someone gets caught with something. Because you could have all the MMA math right, and then you just don't see one punch coming out of nowhere, and it changes the whole trajectory of the fight. One takedown that goes gnarly and ends in an injury. It makes the sport and the MMA math kind of unviable. But over that, I'm like thinking Henry Cejudo would definitely just be the best fight for Sean O'Malley and vice versa, Sean O'Malley for Henry Cejudo, because both guys, they have so much to lose over this fight, yet so much to gain, So it's probably the perfect timing. And I think like a lot of people, like they said, they wanted to see Sandhagen versus O'Malley, which would be a good stand-up fight, but it doesn't put that pressure on O'Malley to really be super proficient at getting those takedowns, because if he was a little bit better with that stuff, I think like we would have been seeing a different story where O'Malley came out on top against Merab, but Merab's wrestling was so top-notch, you could tell Merab wasn't threatened in the grappling aspects at all. But I feel like some time with some really high-level grapplers, like an Olympic freestyle gold medalist like Triple C, could definitely be the risk that Sean needs to take to get a reward like getting that belt back. But that's all I got to say I think that's probably the next fight that should be made in a title eliminator for bantamweight. Winner takes on Merab, and I think Henry Cejudo is going to want another shot against Merab. Despite the first fight going in Merab's favor, I think Henry Cejudo has been filling it out a little bit, and he has some adjustments to make. So when he's ready to get back, he'll be back. Peace.